I want to start out by saying I hate holding microphones.
Yeah, this is not that fun. Why did our producer not figure this out before I got here?
He said that he didn't want to hang them from C-stands because it would be too hard. So
yeah,
Star Wars is not something that you are interested in watching.
No.
You are being, what's the word? Cajoled?
I've never heard that word before.
Cajoled? I think that's a word.
You're just saying it again.
It sounds right the more times I say it. You're being cajoled into doing this and you don't want to. And I find that really funny because when I watched it back again through your eyes, I said, wow, if there was no nostalgia element here, this would be a little rough to watch. If you literally had zero interest in watching this thing, you have no context, you have no like nostalgia with it, and you see like Star Wars A New Hope, it's kind of like
I wasn't left with very much hope. So I'll say this. I actually watched it twice. The first time I was totally sober. And then I watched it one time after that. The parts that stuck the most in my head, that's all that I was going to remember. Like the fact that I'm so pissed that we had to start on episode 4. I've had multiple
You've
people
had people explain this to you.
I know.
What is it going to take?
I just think that it's silly.
But okay, you'll see this once we get to this episode. If I had you start with episode 1, you would be even more like, why are we watching these? Why does anybody like these? Because nobody, well, I don't know. I don't want people to get pissed, but people don't really like 1 through 3.
Then why even make them?
Yeah. But they had to because it's part of the story.
Here's the thing, because you already made it through episode 4, 5, and 6. And so we're already like coming in hot to the storyline. Why not just keep going with 7, 8, 9? Why turn around and be like, you know what? I'm already riding a bicycle. Let me turn around and go back to my tricycle with training wheels.
Well, I mean, that's a good point. I don't know why they didn't just continue forward, but I think the problem had to do, like what your friend was saying, technology wasn't there for the story that they wanted to tell. Mm-hmm. They knew like, these are the real cool stories. Yeah. Like, this is what you want. You don't want a young Darth Vader. Not to spoil it, I don't know.
I would.
Yeah, but it's more interesting when you see what he becomes. Like when you already know what he becomes.
I feel like everybody knows what he becomes because...
Yes, but if they had released episode 1 first, nobody would know who this guy turns into. No, like you have to see Darth. You saw Darth Vader in A New Hope, right? Mm-hmm. Now when you go back, you're going to see him as a kid and you're going to be like, oh my God, it's crazy because I know who this kid turns into.
Got it.
Whereas if they just start with this kid, you're like, okay, like who's this kid? I don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. And now what really, like the kicker now is that, so they made a prequel to the movie you just watched.
So like 3.5, episode 3.5. Mm-hmm. This is just getting too much.
But that episode is my favorite Star Wars movie of all time.
What's it called?
Rogue One. And it's so good. But if you watch them in order, it's all fucked up now because it's like 1, 2, 3 are made in like the 90s. Rogue One is made in like 2019. Then 4, 5, 6 were made in like the 70s. And then 8, 9, there's 7, like 8, 9, teens, whatever, right? Are made in, yeah. So it's like literally a mess.
Yeah, that is a hot mess. And that's really hard to, I mean, and just the technology that was used to film these episodes is so different, I'm sure, from block to block to block that.
Mm-hmm. And the style is like all different now.
Yeah, they should record one now with Harrison Ford like so old.
That's what they did. He's in the last.
Oh, you know what? I didn't know. Being so old?
Well, yeah, I mean, that was what, like 8 years ago? I don't even remember.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but because they basically tell the progression of their stories. So, like, Princess Leia and him. No. Do you actually not know what happens?
I have no idea what happens.
Are you serious?
You
haven't even, like, heard on accident?
The only thing that I know that happens eventually is that Darth Vader is Luke's father. That's the only thing that I know.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of, if you didn't know that, I'd be like,
I know.
What do you do?
Because I feel like that's just the world knows that. That's literally all that I know.
Okay. Let's just start from the beginning. Basically, in A New Hope, we are on a spaceship. Mm-hmm. There are stormtroopers shooting. Yeah. Princess Leia has been held captive because her ship had plans for the Death Star. And the rebels want to destroy the Death Star. She was captured. She has the Death Star plans. She puts the Death Star plans into R2-D2 and then sends him off.
C-3PO, why is he such a dick to R2-D2? Like, he's a huge jerk to him. Like, for most of the movie, until the very end, and when, like, his head got blown off when Luke Skywalker, spoiler alert, was, like, driving that ship and he got shot and R2-D2 got shot in the face, and then all of a sudden C-3PO was like, oh my gosh, I hope he's okay. Then he cared about him. But he was like taking digs at him the whole movie.
Well, I will just say this. We don't know what R2-D2 is saying back.
Yeah.
So he could be a real asshole. I get the sense that he is.
No, I think he's a sweetheart. I don't know. Because
I think R2-D2 has more of an attitude than C-3PO.
No.
Yes. They literally show you, like, he mouths off to people, and C-3PO is like, don't say that about him. He's our master. Like, he's talking shit about Luke. You know, he talks back.
But he wasn't his master because he was looking for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, but if someone purchases a droid, then they own the droid.
That's another thing. So what are is it Jawas that sold the
Danielle,
droids?
I'm really impressed.
Okay. Is that like some weird slave trade thing? Because why can they just pick up droids and then like display them outside of their obnoxiously large car and then just let people come and buy them?
Well, the weird thing is that they don't reprogram them because you can. Like, people reprogram droids all the time. So you would think if they're gonna steal them and sell them, they'll just like wipe their memory.
Yeah.
Then we wouldn't have had a movie.
That's true.
But yes, how did you even know that? How do you remember the name?
Jawas?
Jawas. I even forgot right now. Okay, so they are basically like then on this planet, and they come into contact with Luke just by happenstance. It's like, oh, that worked out.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Do you know why Luke isn't just a random guy? Do you know who he is? Like his deeper identity, or no?
No, I don't think so. I mean,
Wait, no, you do know. You just said it.
What? Oh, that he's Darth Vader's son?
Right.
But we don't know, like, people who saw this in the 70s didn't know that at that point.
Right.
I know that just because I'm probably the last person in the world
who so in touch.
But speaking of Luke Skywalker, how does he know how to drive every ship that he gets in? They were on the Millennium Falcon. Remember when they were like all flying different parts of the ship?
He wasn't flying. He was shooting.
And then his own ship when they were like at the very end, he was in that ship when they shot R2-D2 in the face.
Yeah, well, that's the interesting part because he had never had any experience like being a rebel flying a like spaceship. I mean, maybe he had, but they were saying he was going to go to the academy to learn. So I don't know how he's suddenly the best one. Like he's the one who shoots the thing, you know? But
and
he
everybody
does it with the Force.
A bunch of other people died and they probably have been doing it for a while.
Exactly. But he used the Force.
Oh.
At what part watching this movie were you like, what the hell is this? Because you said I wasn't left with any hope.
That was more of an exaggeration. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be miserable and fall asleep.
What did you think of Princess Leia?
I don't like her. I don't like, and I don't know why. And I know that that's not, she's like the only female character, and I should like her for girl power reasons. But I think her voice was dubbed in for everything. Was it redubbed?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Most of her voice was dubbed in it. It seems like it just seems a little off.
I think she was really young when she got that role. And I don't think her mom, her mom was, who the fuck was her mom? Nay, who was Carrie Fisher's mom? Debbie Reynolds.
Oh, okay.
Her mom is Debbie Reynolds. I thought she like carried herself well. I thought she did a good job. But a lot of women don't like her because...
Oh, okay. So I'm not alone there?
Of women hating.
Not that I don't hate women. I thought that she was a little condescending.
100%. But that's where the sparks fly with her and Han Solo.
Yeah. So I find Han Solo attractive more so than Luke Skywalker.
Duh.
Okay, but do you think that's because I'm watching it as a 38-year-old? Or do you think that it was the same in the 70s when maybe younger people watched it? Do you think they more leaned towards Luke Skywalker, who was the younger character?
I guess I could see that, but like Han Solo is clearly the like love interest, and I don't want to spoil why, but
I think you already did.
I don't mean to keep like alluding to it, but it's kind of like the biggest plot point of Star Wars. Like he kind of, you know, he's like the dreamboat. He's got so much charisma. Like, how can you resist?
He's got that Riz.
Yeah, exactly. Riz, sorry, I didn't mean to sound like an idiot. But his outfit is so, it's a good outfit.
He's got some tight jeans.
Yeah, but also like the white shirt with like kind of like
that's not what you meant.
No. I didn't even look at his pants. You can't see anything. I look at waist above because I look at the shirt. That's what is visible to me. Pants are just pants.
All right.
I've never seen a guy's pants and been like, look at those legs. Who cares?
I do. Have you ever watched Narcos?
No, what? They have nice pants or something?
All right. So
I'm not finished. His white shirt is so, like, it shows his muscles. It shows his chest hair. He's got like a little tan. He's got a vest on. I love a vest. You can see his forearms a bit.
yeah.
And then it's like tucked into his pants so you can see his little waist, which I like.
Yeah.
But then the rest of the legs, I don't care.
It's interesting. Stormtroopers. Are they droids or are they people dressed up like something?
They're people dressed up like in the little costumes.
How do they tell each other apart?
They don't, and that's why people can all the time dress up as them and get through the ships. And that's why like nobody recognized them until something suspicious happened, and they're like, "What's your unit number?" And they were like, "Nothing." And then they were like, "Oh, you sound weird."
Like when they snuck into that part of the ship and Han Solo was talking over the intercom and they're like, "What's your unit number?" And he shot the intercom like that's going to help rather than just stop talking. Like,
well, because he said we're sending somebody. He's like, "No, that's okay. We're okay here. Thank you. How are you?" You know, like that whole thing, which I thought was funny, and I found him to be relatable in that moment. And I loved his legs in that scene.
I don't know why that was so funny. Why? So did Obi-Wan die when Darth Vader slayed him?
Yes.
Okay, so then why, when he died, did he just vanish and like, obviously like his naked soul is somewhere because his cloak was still on the floor. Right. But then when Luke Skywalker's aunt and uncle died, their disgusting skeletons that were still smoking were just like outside of that igloo on their farm.
Well, Obi-Wan is a special person. He does die, but when Jedis die, apparently, they have the choice of, still being kind of like around. They can be a voice in your head. That's why he said, like, Luke, use the Force.
Yeah. And it was really weird that Luke Skywalker, he like rushed home because he thought the Sand People were going to kill his aunt and uncle. Got home, found their, skeletons smoking. And then he just like got over it after 5 minutes and just moved on with his life. He's like, all right, well, I'm just going to like go on this special mission now and with this stranger man that I've never met before and these robots. So bye, aunt and uncle. I'm not even going to bury you. I'm just going to leave you.
I really like that he, as soon as that happened, he went back and he literally like just kind of said so matter of fact, like, I'm coming with you. I want to learn the ways of the Force and like follow in the footsteps of my father. Like within 10 minutes of that, he just like has this whole revelation and it leaves nothing up to like for the audience to kind of like put the pieces together. Right. He's like, here's what my objective is. I'm becoming like the hero of the story, you know?
Or like put a blanket over your aunt and uncle that just were burned or whatever.
My other thing is like, you don't even go confirm that that's them. Like, that could be anybody.
What if it was the people that tried to kill them?
Yeah. Literally, they said stormtroopers, like, went to kill them. What if, for somehow, the stormtroopers, like, they fought back and then they died?
Oh, it was stormtroopers? I thought it was sand people.
It wasn't sand people. They made it look like it was sand people.
Oh, do we find out it's stormtroopers eventually?
They literally said it right after it happened.
Oh.
They said, it looks like stormtroop, or it looks like sand people were here. And then Obi-Wan says they want you to make it, they want it to seem that way, but sand people walk single file to hide their numbers, and the tracks were side by side. Do you remember that now?
Yeah, I remember that now.
Okay, but that brings me to another point that I wanted to bring up, because just like Luke quickly is just like, all right, here we go. Leia was traveling on her ship with the Death Star plans to her home planet to give her father the plans.
Yeah.
Okay. She is captured. Her ship is taken and her crew is taken. Mm-hmm. She probably never sees them again. We don't know. Maybe they died. She's a prisoner now. Her home planet is blown up. It's destroyed. Everyone she knows dies. And then, like, she is just completely over it. It's never mentioned. And then after Obi-Wan dies, Luke is like sad, and he's like, I can't believe he's gone. And Leia is like consoling him, and he's like all like torn up about that when he knew that guy for not even a day.
Yeah, he was more upset about that guy than he was his aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
And she was more upset about it than her whole planet.
Yeah. Like she was literally never like, everyone that I know in life has been killed. My father is dead. Like, what the fuck is my life?
Yeah. Oh, was this in my head when somebody says, may the force be with you? I've always said, not ever have watched Star Wars. I always said to them, and also with you, and they didn't say that at all in the movie. Is that just because I'm Catholic?
Are you kidding me? Yes. It's a Catholic thing.
Oh my God. I thought that was a Star Wars thing. And another observation that the bar that they went to when they went to go get the Millennium Falcon and get Han, that bar was lit.
Oh, yeah.
That song, I want to walk down the aisle to that song.
It's called, I think, the Cantina song.
Yeah.
Because that's called the Cantina, and it's a banger.
Yeah. Are you going to have that at your wedding?
If I have a wedding, if I continue to plan it and it happens, then yes.
No, I hope you have a wedding, because I am getting ready to book
I already booked the hotel.
Yeah. Is Darth Vader married because God bless her for dealing with somebody that always sounds like a CPAP machine? Even when he's talking, he's breathing like that. Why?
Well, do you know what happened to him? Do you know why he's in that costume? I guess it's not a costume. It's a uniform.
Well, I'm assuming that I'll learn.
Let's just say it's not a choice.
Okay.
Like, he doesn't wear it because he thinks he looks cool. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a survival thing. So the voice is because he is basically being kept alive by a machine.
A CPAP machine. So yeah. Obviously I know, because I know, Luke, I am your father. So does Obi-Wan not know, or does he forget that Darth Vader is who he is? Or how does that play out?
Obi-Wan doesn't want to tell Luke about the truth of who his father is, because they're always trying to like keep him from the knowledge so that he doesn't follow in the same footsteps. The confusing part is why he wants Luke to become a Jedi so badly, because his uncle, remember Uncle Owen, the one who was killed, he kept saying to Luke, like, you know, you're too young to go to the academy. Stay one more year. And then the aunt was like, you got to let him go. He wants to go. And he's like, I don't want to let him go, you know. And she's like, he's got too much of his father in him. And he's like, that's what I'm afraid of, because he's trying to keep him from like going to the dark side. So I don't know why Obi-Wan wants him to like become a Jedi. You would think like, keep this guy away from it. It's in his blood to like be bad and to be really good at being bad.
Right.
I think he should have just told him, like, just so you know, your dad's all fucked up. And you should be careful because you may have some mental health issues as well. Yeah. Boy, what a different place the world would be if people just told other people that. Why don't they let droids into that lit bar that I mentioned earlier? Or the cantina? They just don't serve their kind. They made him go outside though. C-3PO is what do they call it? It's like I can't remember, but he's all about the rules, you know? So if he sees somebody doing something illegal... He's a square. Yeah, exactly. He's a little like, what's the word? Square. Yeah. I think this is the biggest thought that I had on the whole movie.
What if the entire franchise, or at least this section of it, is all a dream that happened once Luke Skywalker was knocked out by the Sand People, and when he wakes up and randomly Obi-Wan Kenobi is there, and then they embark on this magical journey. What if it's all a dream? Because he's knocked out and then he wakes up and the man that he wanted to see at one point, but had no idea how he was going to ever find him, was there all of a sudden. And then they just went on this crazy adventure with like a Wookiee and robots. And what if another movie comes out in 2025 or 2024 and it's just like, this was all a dream, and he actually wakes up in the sand and he's like, what happened?
We should make like a movie trailer for it all being a dream.
Which role would you want to play?
If I had to be a character? Mm-hmm. Everybody's going to say Han Solo, right? Like, who wouldn't say Han Solo? No one's going to say Luke Skywalker. Who wants to play Luke? I'm sorry. But like, when it comes to Leia or Han or even Darth Vader, who's playing Luke?
I don't know. I would. I don't really care. I think I would want to play like Chewbacca. I think I'm tall enough to.
You just want to be like in a furry costume the whole time?
Yeah. So I don't have to worry about like what I look like. Boink, marry, or kill. Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo.
Obviously, it's like, oh, I would marry Han Solo. Like, you know, he's so cute and whatever. But Han Solo's not husband material. Like, he's not going to come home with flowers and make you dinner. He's not going to, like, make you soup when you're feeling sick. So I would probably, but you have to, I'm not going to kill him. And I'm not going to fuck Darth Vader. I don't even think Darth Vader has a torso. Like, I think he only has a torso. His legs aren't real. He can't.
You see him walking though.
But they're not real legs because they're burned off.
Oh,
I've said too much. I've said too much. Luke would have to be my husband. He's the type that would bring you soup. And I just need a lot of soup. Like I more than I thought I would. And then I would, you know, have some kind of like sexual relations with Hans.
Han.
I would cry out, Hans. I would maybe like kiss Darth Vader.
No, you have to kill him.
Okay. Well, then I'd let him like, he could like feel me up and then I'd kill him.
That's not the game though.
I'll feel him up and then I'll kill him.
Will you let me know if there's anything under for scientific purposes?
Yeah. I mean, you actually get to see it later. They'll show you parts like they show you what's underneath the costume, not the wiener though, because that was tragically burned off, I think.
Oh,
I don't know for sure, but I think that's why he's so pissed off.
I would marry. See, this just says a lot about me though. I would marry Darth Vader. What?
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let me erase that.
No, that's what you said.
Okay. Then I would boink Han Solo.
Yeah.
And I would.
You're going to kill Luke? You just said that you would play him in the movie if someone had to play Luke. You said.
I just thought that that's a role nobody would want. And if nobody wants it, I would take it.
Why would you marry Darth Vader? I'm just wondering.
Because I like the mysterious, I can fix him.
Oh my God. That's toxic energy.
It's so toxic.
You really think you're going to fix Darth Vader?
Maybe.
Well, the truth is that Darth Vader is a hopeless romantic. And you'll see in the upcoming movies, he is so sad because of a lost love. So maybe you could heal him and you could nurse him back to health with your body.
Okay, second round. C-3PO, R2-D2, Chewbacca.
I think I would probably have to marry C-3PO just for conversation. I need someone to talk to.
I would not come to your wedding.
What?
He's such a jerk. He is
you know
such
what?
a
You
jerk.
read these characters all wrong. You don't like Leia. You don't like C-3PO. You don't like the heroes. You like Darth Vader. You want to marry Darth Vader. You're just being obstinate on purpose.
No, I'm not doing this on purpose. there are multiple times when he was so rude to R2D2, and I just
R2D2 is a little bitch, and C3PO is the only one who knows it.
He's a cute little trash can.
Yeah, full of hatred. He talks shit, and C3PO is a nice man. He would treat me well, and he tries to defend my honor. He would do exactly as I say.
Can you imagine those hips gyrating? You can't even walk.
Yeah, I'd oil them up first. The only one who could really like offer something in the bedroom is Chewie, but the problem is that he's violent and aggressive.
Some people like that.
Some people are drawn to, but you can't really like grow old with someone like that. Even if we boinked and it was really nice, like he could kill me later.
He could, but that's like doesn't that make you feel good though? Like the person that you're with could literally murder 10 people at once, but he chooses to snuggle with you.
This is giving me a lot of insight into your dating life.
Yeah.
You're like, I could fix the most evil man in the world.
Yeah. The way that Luke Skywalker looks at Princess Leia is like what every girl's dream is, right?
Well, you're not gonna, once you actually understand how they are.
Are they brother and sister? Oh, they are, aren't they? Oh shit, they are they?
I can't believe you just said that. The way that Luke looks at Leia is just every girl's dream. That's how every girl wants to be looked at.
Oh my God. Let's talk about a look at my dating life and why it's such a train wreck.
Yeah, you've got some weird stuff going on.
Wow. My mind is so blown right now. Oh man.
Did you not know that? Or did you forget?
No, I had no idea.
Then how did you guess that?
Because you were hinting towards the fact that
oh yeah,
I might not feel that way at some point.
Right.
And I literally was saying it as a funny joke.
So you know what that means? If Vader is Luke's father, then
Vader is Leia's father. Does Vader know that he's their parents?